Hello everyone, it's the Cursing Seamstress. This will be quick because I am on my way out to eat lunch. Dixie is right here. I think I'll just show her to you. She is a challenge because she is a busybody, but she's very sweet. I'm trying to teach her to sit now. She still hasn't quite gotten it. But I do have a shock collar on her now, and she semi-obeys it. We are still working on it. But anyway, I think she's doing pretty well overall. Georgia has gotten used to her. She still doesn't love her, but I don't know. Well, let me just say that I have not been doing very much sewing for myself. I have been sewing masks, and I'm sure everybody's sick of seeing masks. Everybody seems to have a video about masks, making masks, blah, blah. So I'm not going to bore you a lot with it, but I've told you about the two little shops that I sell things in. One of them still has not opened up. I don't know. It's up to the owner. I'm not going to criticize her, but she doesn't feel comfortable opening up right now. That's the one furthest from my house. The one closer to my house is open, and I have been sewing masks there, and they've been selling really, really well. And it's weird because the lady who runs it didn't think they would. But the thing is, here in North Carolina and Virginia is apparently, well, a lot of places require masks. I pulled in, I had the grand boys yesterday, and I pulled into the library. I was going to look for a book for My Man Friend by Margaret Maron, M-A-R-O-N, who is a wonderful writer. She writes mysteries, and she's a judge in the stories. And so we got out of the car to go into the library. There's a big sign that says everyone above the age of 6 or 7 has to wear a mask. And I later found out that I had enough masks in the car. But anyway, but we didn't go in. I didn't realize that I had those tucked away. And the schools are really not sure about how they're going to approach fall. I don't know if I said this before, but they're basically going to look at things at some point in July and decide which tier approach they are going to take with opening or not opening. So it may still be all online. It may be every kid has to wear a mask over a certain age, separation by 6 feet, all kids facing the same direction, could be 50% capacity, alternating days. That hurts. But mask may very well be a part of it. So more and more we're seeing masks being required. So for that reason, I've been making masks. So I wanted to show you this. I had bought this little metal thing probably early this year or sometime last year, and it's a metal display thing. It just sits back on this at a little bit of a slant. And it's been sitting in my garage, so I took it out. It has a little spot up here to insert a little sign or something. I did that, but then it covered up some of the words here, so I put the little sign in front of the place where it's supposed to go, and put a picture up here of one of my grand boys wearing a mask. And I put these masks on here, and you can see the variety. The one thing I've started doing differently is using my my cut tool, my silhouette, like a Cricut. And I'll just show you some of these things. I really hope these hold up. When I talk to people, they say that the vinyl does hold up well in the wash. But I have said on my little sign that I recommend with the vinyl is to line dry it, hang to dry. I'll just show you a few more. I don't know if you guys are even interested in this. This is just a little lightning bolt for this mask. And I felt like boys weren't being addressed as much as girls as far as designs go, so I kind of focused on boy designs a little bit, so that they wouldn't be forced to have either a very plain mask or a girly looking one. It's a dinosaur, Brontosaurus, I think. Let's see here, what else? This is a shark. I put my little label, I ordered these labels from Wonder Label, and this one says Dixie Belle. These are cloth labels, and they have a sticky piece. The back is sticky, and you tear off the little paper and iron it on. And that's different. I've not used one of those before. And the last one that I used, the iron-on vinyl. Sorry, I just did these labels today, and I put a bear on there. So I've had fun creating these designs. This is a girly one, I guess. And this is some, no, Dixie, stop it. This is this tape here, cloth tape with the bunnies on it. I got this from Wish, and I was reluctant to order from there. I know it's a China-based thing, and I've heard horror stories about some of the quality, and actually the quality for these is good. And so I had bought several different little prints. Here's another one. You may have seen some of these. I think I've used them for other things, but this is little Dachshunds here that I just sewed on. And when I sewed it on, I only sewed it to the outside piece so that the needle holes wouldn't go all the way through to the lining piece. Whether that actually helps anything, I don't know. But that's what I've been doing. And also the big seller is these adult masks here for UNC. These have done really well, and so she actually sent me an email, the person who runs the store, and asked for 5 of those. I guess she has an order for that many. This is the fabric I made my Holly Hobby dress out of, Hobby like. I forgot, it's like a Simplicity 7500. I think there's 2 zeros at the end of it. But I love this fabric, and I had a little bit of it left over. So I am going to take myself to this little shop and drop these things off. The pattern again for these masks is the best pattern I have found. It fits me so well. For an adult, I cut the adult mask and I use 7 inches of a 1/4 inch elastic. For the kids, which I say fits ages 7 to 12 approximately, I cut 6.5 inches, and that seems to work well. But this is by I Think So, and it's called a center darted mask. Okay. This is a little Excel spreadsheet that I take in every time I add to the Excel sheet, and I highlight the part I want to print and then go to print, and then it gives me the option print selection, and I take that option so it only prints what I'm taking in for that particular day. I do think that's all. I have, okay, one thing I'll tell you, I may be moving, I don't know. My daughter and her husband and boys have sold the house that they've been living in since they got married, or a little bit after they added on to the house. And it has not closed, but they will probably move into my house. And that leaves me homeless, pretty much. So, not really, I'll find somewhere to live, but there's really a dearth of available houses for sale in my area, and I don't want to live as far away as I live from her now. I now live about 40 minutes away, and that's really too far. So she's kind of in an outlying area where it's not an area where I would pass through in my day-to-day activities. So I really hope this works. I hope that she can move into my house and that I can find another house. I actually have found another house. It's for sale. It's only 7 miles away, and it's a good 7 miles away because it is a way that makes a nice loop to going anywhere that you would go. So if she were to leave here, if she were to live at my house and go into town for grocery shopping or whatever, that's an easy, it's a little bit past the shortest route, but not much at all. And so if she were to go to Virginia, if she were to go to some of the other towns around here, she's gonna go that way. It's really, I looked at the house yesterday. It's a lovely home. It's bigger than this house. It needs a whole lot of work. And there are some people renting the house. I met with the owner and the real estate agent yesterday. Sadly enough, there are people squatting in the house. And because of COVID-19, the owner of the house is not able to evict this person. Even though she has not lost her job or suffered because of COVID, the courts will not allow for any eviction procedures. I think that's going to change maybe in July. I'm not quite sure. But even so, it's very difficult to evict someone. And it's pretty much a shame because this fellow is really dependent upon the income from that rental to be able to live himself. So he's really in a predicament, and so I don't want to go into that a lot, but just to say that the house is a mess. It needs tons of cosmetic work, a little bit of structural work, and the people who are living there are hoarders. I couldn't even get to the hot water heater to look at it because there is stuff everywhere. I could not get to the master bath tub because the woman does not use it as a tub. She has stuff piled up in it. So it's just remarkable. So anyway, I'm in that process. But what I was saying before all of this happened, I bought some fabric to make myself some window treatments. I am not smart enough to make the kind of blinds that you can pull a string and have it roll up. I have seen it and I've seen instructions and I get lost in it. But what I did find was a blind, I guess you can call it, that goes across a spring rod and hangs down, and then you have ties that are in front on the main fabric and then under on the back of the fabric, on the back of the shade. And so what you do is you make it longer and then use those ties to tie it up and lift it up, and it gives kind of a dip in the middle. Hold on and I will show you the fabric. Okie dokie, I am back. This fabric is from Hobby Lobby. I saw it online. I went to Hobby Lobby last week, I think it was, and they had it. They had one roll of it. It wasn't a full roll, but there was enough for me to get, stop it, Dixie. There was enough for me to get, I think I went ahead and got three yards of it. It's a very pretty blue. I do use this blue in my bathroom, and I guess that's the only place that I use this blue. But I really like this color blue. These are little cotton bowls on here. It's gray, the blue-green color, and then white. It's all cotton. I've washed it. I have not ironed it. I think in my brain I have, I know how to do it. I don't think I'll have any trouble cutting it out and making it work. It seems relatively simple. And I just went on all these blind sites, blindster.com, blinds.com. I went on some of the department store sites like Kohl's and Penny's, and even on eBay, and just looked at how they hang, and it really seems pretty straightforward. The one that I like the best, and I don't have a picture of it, or I would, if I find the picture, I'll come back. But the one I like the best is, first of all, there's no gathering. You make the width of it the same as the rod, or maybe a half an inch shorter. So there's no gathering on the rod, and it hangs down for whatever. Maybe a foot, 12, 13, 14 inches, and then there is a seam, and then you continue down with the rest of it. But in that seam is where you have the option of putting the ties, inserting the ties on the back and on the front, and then having them meet at the bottom and tying it with a bow. I really like the way that looks. It's very, very pretty. The other option again is to put those ties at the top where you know, where it goes over the rod. But I think I'm going to go for that look. And my daughter, if she doesn't like, I could probably use it at the other house if I end up getting that other house. So so that's all I know. I'm on my way out to go to that little shop and to also eat lunch. So that's fun. And I hope everybody's doing really well. I'm going to lock Dixie up because she is just an aggravation. But I think she's trying a little. Okay, thank you for watching. I will talk with you all later. Bye-bye.